Doubt. Doubt is something that everyone on the earth experiences. Doubt comes when we don't understand something or when we don't have enough information. But doubt really comes when we don't know for sure if something is true or not. When you have doubt, you may ask questions like, "That sounds interesting, but is it true?" Or, "I don't know if that really happened. Can you prove it?" Or even, "I don't know what to believe. Can you help me?" It's okay to have doubt, but only if it leads to questions that seek the truth. Hello, and welcome to my ongoing report focusing on the weeks after the death and resurrection of Jesus. Today's segment is about a very serious issue, a problem we all deal with at some point or another: doubt. When you doubt something, it means you're not sure if it's true or if you should believe it. Everyone experiences doubt at some point in life, even people back in the days when Jesus lived. In fact, even Jesus' disciples dealt with doubt, which leads me to the story for today. The story can be found in the book of John, chapter 20, starting in verse 19. And it begins during a very difficult time in the life of the disciples. Their Lord and Master, Jesus, had been arrested and tried as a criminal. Then he was put on a cross to die. And finally, he was buried in a tomb. Now, 3 days later, some women had come from the tomb saying it was empty and that Jesus was alive. In fact, Mary Magdalene claimed that she had actually seen Jesus. Well, at this point, the disciples were very confused. They didn't know what to believe. They saw Jesus die with their own eyes, yet the women claimed he was alive. The disciples had to have their doubts about what the women were saying. Could they really believe it? Was it really true? Well, in the evening, all of the disciples gathered together in a room. Once they were there, they locked all the doors because they were afraid that the soldiers might come and kill them like they had killed Jesus. Well, while they were in the room, something incredible happened. Jesus suddenly appeared in the room. The disciples were amazed as Jesus spoke to them and showed them his wounds in his hands and his side to prove to them that he was Jesus, and that they weren't imagining things. Jesus really was there, and Jesus really was alive. All of the disciples were very, very excited. Well, not all of the disciples. You see, one of the disciples, whose name was Thomas, wasn't there when Jesus appeared. Everyone saw Jesus but him. Later, when the disciples saw Thomas, they told him about seeing Jesus. But instead of getting excited or sad about missing the chance to see Jesus, Thomas did something else. He doubted. He didn't believe what his friends were telling him. Here's what was said.
"We have seen the Lord!"
"I won't believe it unless I see the nail wounds in his hands, put my fingers into them, and place my hand into the wound in his side."
Now, we don't know why Thomas chose not to believe what the disciples had told him. But 8 days later, Thomas got exactly what he was asking for. Once again, the disciples were gathered together inside a locked room. And this time, Thomas was with them. Just like before, Jesus suddenly appeared and greeted them. Then he spoke directly to Thomas.
"Peace be with you. Put your finger here and look at my hands. Put your hand into the wound in my side. Don't be faithless any longer. Believe." "My Lord and my God!"
Thomas finally believed what the disciples had said. Jesus was alive. Jesus then said to Thomas,
You believe because you have seen me. Blessed are those who believe without seeing me.
As we look at this story, it's important to note that it's okay to have doubts. Your parents or pastor or teachers will never be angry if you have questions about things you don't understand. Also, Jesus won't be angry if you have doubts. Look at Thomas. Jesus didn't get mad at him for having doubts. In fact, he appeared to Thomas to help him overcome those doubts. Jesus loved Thomas, and he loves you and me. He wants us to feel great about believing in him, and he wants to help us when we have doubts. You know, we don't get to see Jesus in the same way that Thomas and the other disciples did. And from time to time, we will have questions and we will have doubts. It's during these moments that we should pray to God about those doubts. We should also talk to our parents or pastor and spend time reading the Bible. These are all ways to seek out the answers we need to overcome our doubts. Well, that's all for this segment. Remember, it's okay to have doubts. However, when you do, you need to seek answers. And ultimately, like Thomas, choose to believe.
Jesus came down to earth from his throne on high. He humbled himself, he came to live so he could die. He was killed on the cross, but he rose up from the grave. Death was defeated, so wipe your tears away. I'm gonna clap my hands and shout Hosanna. Jesus is risen and he lives forever. He took my sin and set me free. Jesus is alive, I believe. To make our way to God, there is nothing that you and I can do. Helpless on our own, we needed him to come for our rescue. Our sin has a price that we could never pay. Jesus paid it all so we could be saved. I'm gonna clap my hands and shout Hosanna. Jesus is risen and he lives forever. He took my sin and set me free. Jesus is alive, I believe. Jesus is alive, I believe. Jesus is the Son of God, the sacrifice for sin. He is the risen King, and he's coming back again. Jesus is the Son of God, I believe. The sacrifice for sin. I believe. He is the risen King, I believe. And he's coming back again. I'm gonna clap my hands and shout Hosanna. Jesus is risen and he lives forever. He took my sin and set me free. Jesus is alive, I believe. Jesus is alive, I believe. Son of
shout it out.